Hello everyone, welcome back to Dr. JP classes. I hope you all are fine. Friends, previously we had discussed about NEP 2020, an overview, then National Education Policy 2020 from 10 plus 2 to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, NEP's big shift in school education. Today we all are going to discuss about higher education, some reforms and highlights under National Education Policy 2020. This video covers important highlights and some reforms under National Education Policy 2020. So friends, watch this video till the end. Let's start. At first, introduction. In introduction, we start with a beautiful quotation given by our missile man and 11th President of India, late APJ Abdul Kalam, once said, Indian education framework needs to change completely. Our present Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi also give importance to change the educational policy to transforming India and contributing to an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. Improving the quality of education across all levels from primary to university level is the main aim of NEP 2020. A National Education Policy or NEP is a comprehensive framework to guide the development of education in the country. The Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi approved the National Education Policy 2020 of the 21st century on July 29, 2020. Under the chairmanship of Sri Narendra Modi, National Education Policy 2020 was approved. It was the first national education policy of the 21st century. This policy replaced the 34-year-old National Policy on Education NPE 1986. After the 34 year, the National Education Policy came to the existence. The NEP 2020 received large appreciation from the experts, teachers and students as it addressed the modern demands of the education and bring a holistic dimension to the education and shape India into a global knowledge superpower. Like other developed countries, this policy aims to make the Indian educational system as a best global standard of education. Improving the quality of education across all levels from primary to university level is a continuous and ongoing process. This policy aims to bring a holistic dimension to the education. This policy not only gives importance to the mental development of the learner but also give importance to the physical, moral and social well-being of the individual and also give importance to the integration of body, mind and spirit. Inquiry-based learning, 21st century skills, interactive classrooms, multidisciplinary study and flexible assessments. It's all there in NEP 2020. In NEP 2020, there is inquiry-based learning. The inquiry-based learning helps the student to memorize or remember the matter and at the same time help the student applying the knowledge in new situation. The 21st century skill, that is collaboration, communication, critical thinking and creativity, is essential to develop students' ability to think outside the box and find future solutions to future problems. The interactive classroom provide opportunity to the students to be self-learner and make the student ability to solve practical problems that arise in their day-to-day life. The multidisciplinary study involving the student more than one field of study and flexible assessment motivates students and engage them in the learning process. It's all there in National Education Policy 2020. This policy also built on the foundational pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability and accountability. Equity in education means that all students get what they need from education. Access means all the students enter to the education without any discrimination and quality education should be provided to all the students. Affordability means within low price the students get quality education. Then accountability, that means acceptance of responsibility, and ethical conduct towards others. This policy also gives support to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The new education policy has a great vision towards higher education sector as well. The National Education Policy or New Education Policy 2020 not only give importance to the quality development of the school education but also it has a great vision towards higher education sector.
Here there are some key reforms and highlights under National Education Policy 2020 in the higher education system in India. First, increase gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035, holistic multidisciplinary education, flexibility in subject, academic bank of credit to be established, light but tight regulation of higher education, rationalize institutional architecture, motivated, energized, and capable faculty. Then mentoring mission, financial support for students, open and distance learning, online education and digital education, technology in education, promotion of Indian languages, affiliation system to be phased out in 15 years, professional education, then adult education, then financing education, assessment reforms, internationalization of education, teacher education, focus on quality education, setting up of multidisciplinary education and research universities, NTA to offer common entrance exam for admission to higher educational institutions, 4 year of undergraduate program. These are the following reforms and highlights under National Education Policy 2020. Let us discuss one by one.
The first reform in higher education under National Education Policy 2020 is increase gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. National Education Policy 2020 aims to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education including vocational education from 26.3% to 50% by 2035 and 3.5 crore new seats will be added to higher educational institutions. The number of students enrolled in higher education including vocational education only 26.3% by 2018. The aim is to increase 50% by 2035. At the same time, 3.5 crore new seats will be added to the higher educational institutions. Then holistic multidisciplinary education with multiple entry or exit options. This policy envisages broad-based, multidisciplinary, holistic undergraduate education with flexible curricula, creative combination of subjects, integration of vocational education, and multiple entries and exit points with appropriate certification. Undergraduate education can be of 3 or 4 years with multiple exit options and appropriate certification within this period. For example, certification after 1 year, advanced diploma after 2 years, bachelor's degree after 3 years, and bachelor's with research degree after 4 years. The vision of this policy is broad-based. In multidisciplinary education, the student choose the discipline or subject according to their own personal interest and in multiple exit or entry options. NEP 2020 offers students the flexibility to leave a course after completing a year or two and get corresponding certification. NEP 2020 focus on giving credits even though one could not complete his full education. If a student drops in the first year, the student will get a certificate. If the student drops in the second year, will get a diploma. The student completing the third year will get a bachelor's degree. The student completing the fourth year will receive a bachelor's degree with research certificate. Under New Education Policy 2020, higher education curriculum to have flexibility of subjects. As per the second NEP 1986, the students were not having enough freedom to choose their combinations of subjects. The student could only make their selection after the 10th standard. Even in college, the students have to go with the complementary courses decided by the department. Under the National Education Policy 1986, the students were not getting enough scope to choose their subjects. Only the student select their subject after the 10th standard. Even in college level, limited choice had given to the student and they choose their subject from the prescribed courses that was decided by the department. But the National Education Policy 2020 envisages broad-based, multidisciplinary, holistic undergraduate education with flexible curricula, creative combination of subjects. There will be no rigid separation between arts and science, between curricular and co-curricular activities, between vocational and academic streams. The new education policy or National Education Policy 2020 gave importance to the integration of vocational education with academic streams, and there is no rigid separation between arts, science, and between curricular and extracurricular activities. Now the student could choose the subjects according to their passion. For example, if a student liked chemistry and maths but hate physics, he or she could choose another subject. This will help the student to learn different dimensions. As per their passions, the students will be able to choose major and minor disciplines regardless of the subject combinations that have existed until now. This is expected to benefit those who are interested in multidisciplinary courses. The students who are interested in multidisciplinary courses, they are benefited. The new education policy seeks to make our education system more like the global format. Freedom has given to the student to choose their subject according to their needs, capabilities, according to their passion, according to their interest. The flexibility of curriculum focuses heavily on skill development. Then academic bank of credits to be established. An academic bank of credit is to be established for digitally storing academic credits earned from different higher educational institutions so that this can be transferred and counted towards final degree on. Academic bank credit is a digital storehouse that contains the information of the credits earned by individual students throughout their learning journey. These academic bank credits give multiple options for entering and learning colleges or universities. There will be multiple exits and multiple entries points during the higher education tenure, and credit will be transferred. Academic bank credit is quite helpful for the students and they can seek admission directly in the second year at any university smoothly without interruption. It enables the students to drop out in any year and rejoin the same or any other institute in the future and then exchange the credit on so far with a certificate or diploma if they are eligible, and it is quite helpful for continue their education. Through the academic bank credit, increase the students' freedom in choosing their course and academics and enable the student to learn at their own pace. But the validity will be up to 7 years, hence student will have to rejoin within 7 years. Then another reform under National Education Policy 2020 in higher education is light but tight regulation of higher education. Higher Education Commission of India will be set up as a single overarching umbrella body for entire higher education, excluding medical and legal education. Higher Education Commission of India to have four independent verticals, that is National Higher Education Regulatory Council for regulation, General Education Council for standard setting, Higher Education Grant Commission for funding, and National Accreditation Council for accreditation. The Higher Education Commission of India, coordinating organization that represent a group of smaller and independent bodies that is linking everything together. There are four independent departments come under the Higher Education Commission of India,
that is National Higher Education Regulatory Council for regulation. This council would serve as a single regulator for all elements of higher education, including teaching, but excluding medical and legal education. It is an autonomous body like University Grant Commission. Then General Education Council also come under the Higher Education Commission of India. The council shall be responsible for providing quality education and development of different skills among students while pursuing degrees. The General Education Council shall be responsible for development of the standards of different universities and colleges. The Higher Education Grant Council also come under the Higher Education Commission of India. The council provides recognition to universities in India and disbursements of funds to such recognized universities and colleges. This council is mainly for funding to different colleges and universities. Then National Accreditation Council (NAC) for accreditation. It conducts assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions such as colleges, university or other recognized institutions. It provides grades, understanding of the quality status of the institution, quality status in terms of its performance, teaching learning process, research, infrastructure and learning resources, etc. All four councils are come under a single umbrella body, that is Higher Education Commission of India. Then moving towards another highlights and reforms of NEP 2020 is rationalized institutional architecture. Higher educational institution will be transformed into large, well-resourced, vibrant multidisciplinary institutions providing high-quality teaching, research and community engagement. The main highlight of this policy is to end the fragmentation of higher education. Higher educational institution will be transformed into vibrant multidisciplinary institution providing high quality teaching, research and give importance to the community engagement. The students participate fully for the development of the community. They solve different problems that arise in the community or society. The definition of the university will allow a spectrum of institutions that range from research-intensive university to teaching-intensive universities and autonomous degree-granting colleges. Regarding the higher education, National Education Policy 2020, the university should give importance to the research work and provide quality teaching, and autonomous power should be given to the degree colleges. The degree colleges are independent control over its day-to-day operations and curriculum and provide autonomous power to the degree colleges. The another reforms in NEP 2020 is motivated, energized and capable faculty. National Education Policy 2020 makes recommendations for motivating, energizing and build capacity of faculty through clearly defined, independent, transparent recruitment, freedom to design curricula and pedagogy, incentivizing excellence, movement into institutional leadership. For motivated, energized and capable faculty, National Education Policy makes transparent in its recruitment system. Freedom has given to its faculty for design its curriculum and incentives should be provided to the faculty members to motivate and encourage the faculties to do something better, and also give importance to establishing and protecting institutional values and character for movement into institutional leadership. Faculty not delivering on basic norms will be held accountable for the betterment and increase the quality in higher education, and the work gets done efficiently and effectively. If the faculty doesn't follow certain norms, they are punished. Then establishing a national mission for mentoring. A national mission for mentoring will be established with a large pool of outstanding senior or retired faculty, including those with the ability to teach in Indian languages
who would be willing to provide short and long-term mentoring or professional support to university or college teachers. Another highlight of National Education Policy 2020 is establishing a national mission for mentoring. The outstanding senior or retired faculty giving advice or training to a younger or less experienced person or colleagues in a job through short and long-term mentoring or professional support to university and college teachers. It is quite helpful for personal and career development of university or college teachers, and also it encourages people to manage their own learning. Another highlight of New Education Policy 2020 is financial support for students. Efforts will be made to incentivize the merit of students belonging to SC, ST, OBC, and other socio-economically disadvantaged groups. The National Scholarship Portal will be expanded to support, foster, and track the progress of students receiving scholarships. Private higher education institutions will be encouraged to offer large number of feeships and scholarships to their students. To encourage the merit students, those who are belonging to SC, ST, OBC and other socio-economically disadvantaged groups, the Government of India provides scholarship to all those students who are not able to finance their education. For this purpose, the government has launched a national scholarship portal. Through this portal, the student can apply for various scholarship schemes offered by the central and state government. It is online portal. The students are not required to visit government offices in order to apply for scholarship. They just have to go to the official website and apply for a scholarship. The National Scholarship Portal provides online registration. This National Scholarship Portal will be expanded to support, foster, and track the progress of students. At the same time, private higher education institutions will be encouraged to offer large number of free seats. The higher education institution offer free seats, that is, the meritorious student free from the tuition fees, that is based on the merit. And the higher educational institution also provides scholarship to the students to encourage and motivate the students towards the higher education. The aim of both free seats and scholarship is the meritorious students belonging to SC, ST, OBC, other socio-economically disadvantaged group students pursuing their studies. That's all for today's video. In next video, we will discuss other parts of reforms and highlights of higher education under National Education Policy 2020. Thank you for watching. Friends, if my video provide little bit of information to you, then please like and subscribe my channel. Stay tuned.